Well, hello. I know, a long time no talk. It's me, Jerry, and I'm back, and I'm just talking about some random camera crap because I don't have anywhere else to talk about this, except maybe my TikTok if you want to follow me there. I used to have a C300 Mark I a long time ago. Then I got a C100 Mark I with a dual pixel autofocus upgrade because I'm by myself a lot, and it's really hard to, set focus and then walk around. And the other problem is that I do this a lot, and I'm really annoying to set focus and then film yourself and realize that you leaned back a little bit because your back hurts some, and then all of a sudden you're out of focus the rest of the entire shot. So anyway, I ran the C100 and I had a 5D Mark II for quite a while, and then I came across an amazing deal for a 5D Mark IV. And honestly, I really like this camera, and this became my main rig for a long time. The C100 just kind of got bulky for me. I got really annoyed at trying to edit with it. Always having to have a mic preamp or using this Pixel vocal mic. Anyway, I had this Pixel vocal mic for a long time that it would work okay, but then it's just kind of old, and it would get like a weird sound to it sometimes. And with the 5D Mark IV, I can just put my little, micro shotgun mic on it with a windsock and just yell at it, or I had an adapter to run this straight into it, and that's just what I did for a long time. That's what I did for a while, mostly with my car videos, sometimes with my TikTok stuff, just because it's what I like doing. So I got my Ceramic microphone preamp, my 1980s realistic microphone. I also have this little lapel microphone that I may or may not be using right now. I don't know, because I put it on just in case as a backup, because I know that I like how this microphone sounds, and I know that I like how this one sounds. I don't know which one's going to sound better. And I picked this up at Micro Center. It was on sale. It was missing the little foam piece that it comes with, so I got a bag of them off of Amazon, and they just kind of sit on there, and the little clip does an okay job of holding them on, and it also looks very funny. So anyway, on my C100, I have just an EFS 18-55 f4 to 5.6 lens, and on my 5D4, I have a 24-105 f4L lens. And I'm trying to make the shots match up a little bit. I know that they're not. I'm still shooting this in 1080 because I don't care. 4K is nice and all, but most of the time people are watching stuff on their phones while they're pooping anyway. I wanted to try and make the 5D Mark IV match the C100 wide dynamic range, and I kept trying all sorts of stuff to make it match up. There's tons of videos on how to add Cinestyle to your 5D Mark IV, and it gives you like a wider dynamic range to shoot with. Basically, it just takes away all the contrast out of a shot, but you can still subtract a little bit of more contrast, and then sometimes you can add some back, add a little bit of saturation. I just watched a video recently on this guy that shot a movie using WideDR, and he said that he actually didn't use a LUT for most of it. I was like, you know what? I should pull out the C100 and give WideDR a shot again. So that's what I'm using right now. So with some of the stuff I used to shoot, I would use the C-Log setting on this, and then I would kind of get frustrated when I would start adding LUTs to it or trying to grade it, because like the footage would kind of fall apart a little bit. When I would shoot stuff before, I would always shoot with the cinema setting, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm still learning a lot of this. When I would shoot a lot of my car stuff, I would just set it to EOS standard and just use whatever came out of it, because I know that I could be happy with it. I just liked how it looked. It would make some of the reds pop, it would make some of the greens pop. I'm usually working on a bright green car anyway, so I would just leave it at that. I'd be really happy with how some of the shots would pop. Yeah, but then, I got the 5D Mark IV. I would shoot with that a lot. I have a T4i, and I would shoot with that a lot just because it was really small and I could just carry it around. I didn't care if it got messed up. I only paid $100 for it, so if I lost it, I didn't really care. I would just really cry about the SD card. But I wanted to just see if I could make these match a lot better. So here we are. And I'm going to take the footage and put it on Davinci and see what it looks like. So I did somewhat manage to replicate WideDR on my 5D4, having to do a little bit of modification to it, and then, editing it just a little bit inside of Davinci. Not a big deal. Now, I am shooting the outro on 5D4. Why? because I can connect it to my phone and have a more portable, you know, reference screen. My C100 is actually broken and the HDMI output doesn't work. So I'm kind of hosed in that aspect. The AV output on it does work. So if I get an adapter, I can hook it up to a little monitor. I actually have like a little old school Radio Shack monitor somewhere that I can hook it up to. It's like really hard because it's like grainy CRT footage. And I wanted to use this Helios 44-2 lens. So anyway, thanks for watching. Later, nerd.